So I was just in the middle of doing some of my study, and I was listening to the podcast of Dr. Jordan B. Peterson. And in that podcast, he brings up something he learned from a biblical scholar at a conference he was at. And they're talking about the Exodus. They're talking about how when God was leading the Israelites across the wilderness, that he would be a pillar of fire by day, a cloud by day, and a pillar of fire by night. And he asked this guy, what does that mean? What does that indicate? What should we learn from that? He says, well, it's like the yin and the yang. In the day, he was the cloud, he was the shade, he was the dark, and gives that rest from the brightness of the day. And at night, he's the pillar of fire that leads the way through the night. And I thought about this in the perspective of what is taught at Wake Up Warrior where I work. We have a shirt that I wear often that says, Carpe Noctem, is seize the night. Everyone else talks about seize the day. Seize the pleasant, wonderful things, the areas that are, enjoyable to look at. But the truth of the matter is that when you're in the night, when things are rough, yes, you need to look to the good and pursue that which is good in order to get yourself out of the darkness. But when you are in the brightness of day, when things are good, you need to look towards the darker parts of you, the darker maybe parts of society, the darker parts of your neighborhood, and see that's where you can help. That is where God needs you, is to look into the dark and do something about it. There is this desire when we're in the light to just go towards brighter. But guess what? You go towards brighter, when you're in the day, you get burned. You get in the heat. Too much sun in the day is not good for you. What is better for you is to find the shade. We oftentimes avoid those things which are dark, those things which we don't want to look at, whether it's in society, whether it's in your neighborhood, whether it's the areas in your own family that could be improved upon, or those areas of yourself, those aspects of your personality. But God teaches us there in Exodus that the way that he leads us to the promised land is that when it is night, look to the light. But when it is day, when things are good, when you're in the brightness, don't hide from the dark. Follow it, because it will tell you where God needs you and where you need to put your efforts, because only in that will you find growth and joy for yourself. Christ said, what happens to the doctor? Where the physician goes to those who are sick. He does not stay in the healthy place. So if you're in a good place, if you are feeling good, if your life is going well, go seek the night. What within me, within my family, within my relationships, within my society needs fixing, because that is where God will lead you. And that, taking that path and being willing to go there, will then lead you along the path to the promised land.